Hong Kong journalist found guilty of sedition in case critics say highlight decline in press freedom. Pui-kuen, former editor-in-chief of the now shuttled Standard News, and Patrick Lau, former acting editor, leave court on June 27, 2023, after a hearing in charges of conspiring to publish seditious publications in Hong Kong. Hong Kong CNN. A Hong Kong court found two former news editors guilty on Thursday of publishing seditious content on the shuttered pro-democracy media site, a ruling right groups say was a further blow to press freedom in the city as Beijing tightened its grip. Pui-kuen, former editor-in-chief of Standard News, and Patrick Lam Shu-tong, the publication's ex-acting editor, had been charged under the colonial-era law that has been increasingly used to target the dissent following a wave of anti-government protests in 2019. It was the first sedition case targeting journalists in Hong Kong since the former British colony returned to Chinese rule in 1997. Their convictions came nearly 3 years after hundreds of police officers descended on the independent news website office in December 2021 to seize journalistic materials and arrest staff members, forcing it to close days later. Once a bastion of press freedom in China, Hong Kong has seen its once vibrant local media landscape, whether since Beijing imposed the sweeping national security law on the city in 2020, with Chinese language media hit particularly hard. Outspoken local news outlets such as Standard News and Apple Daily were forced to shut down in recent years. Several foreign media and non-governmental organizations has also since chosen to relocate their headquarters elsewhere, citing the changing political landscape. However, many international media outlets still operate in the city, and it remains home to many foreign journalists. Both Hong Kong and Beijing authorities say the national security law has helped restore stability in the financial hub following massive and open violent protests in 2019. But critics counter that what China's Communist Party views as national security offenses are far broader and more sweeping, often ensnaring political criticism and dissent. On Thursday, the Hong Kong District Court also convicted Best Pencil Hong Kong, the holding company of Standard News, of the sedition offense. Colonial-era ordinance. During the trial, prosecutors accused the website of publishing 17 stories that disparaged the Beijing government, Hong Kong authorities, and the national security law between July 2020 and December 2021. The stories featured interviewed with former opposition lawmakers and activists, most of whom are currently in jail or living in self-imposed exile, including Nathan Law, who is wanted by the city's National Security Police. Lawyers defending Chong and Lam argued that those 17 stories were part of the much broader news file, which included interviews with pro-government voices, and that the news organization had dedicated itself to carrying out balanced journalism. In the summary of the judgment, Judge Kwok Wai-kin wrote, at the time of the publication of stories, Hong Kong was in the heated political environment, and that many citizens even opposed the Hong Kong government and the central government in Beijing. It ruled that 11 of the 17 stories in question were examples of the seditious content. The court rules that Chang is aware and agrees with the sedition intent, and it provides Stand News as the publication platform with the intent to incite hatred against the central and the Hong Kong government, he said, adding that the articles provoked the citizens to resort to illegal act and incited hatred against the judiciary. The Lam shared the similar culpability when he was the acting editor, the summary said. The pair will be sentenced at a later date. Chang and Lam are found guilty on charges stemming from the colonial era crimes ordinance, but the police involved with the case were national security officers. Each had already spent a year in jail awaiting trial, a pattern seen in the many national security cases. Until they were bailed in late 2022, they faced the maximum sentence of the 2 years in prison. During mitigation Thursday, Lam's lawyer and Audrey O read out a letter on his behalf in which a former editor said he regretted not telling the police one thing after his arrest. Journalists do not have to be a lawyer to anyone, support anyone, or be enemies of anyone. He wrote in the letter, and if we really have someone to be loyal to, it will be the public and only the public, because we believe in freedom of the press and the freedom of speech. The press freedom concerns. In a separated case, the Hong Kong media tycoon Jimmy Lai, known for his support of the city's pro-democracy movement and the criticism of China's leaders, is on trial accused of several counts of colluding with foreign forces, a crime under the national security law, as well as the separate sedition charge. He faces the maximum sentence of life in prison if convicted. In March, Hong Kong registered a second national security law known as Article 23, which consolidated the sedition offenses and raised its maximum jail terms from 2 years to the decade. The move prompted further concern from media workers, according to Hong Kong Journalists Association, which unveils its annual survey last week. Each member said the press freedom in the city was at lowest ever level since the association started collecting data in 2013. Press freedom in Hong Kong has continued its downward slide, with many reporters featuring further restrictions as the result of recently introduced Article 23 national security legislation, the trade union said. The association has come under increasing pressure from authorities in recent years, but both Hong Kong officials and Beijing state media have accused it of siding with the protesters during the 2019 protest, a charge the association has denied it. Its chairperson, Selina Chang, said last month she was fired by the Wall Street Journal after she was elected to lead the association. The newspaper declined to comment on her case, but said it continues to be a fierce and vocal advocate for press freedom in Hong Kong and around the world. Hong Kong's leader John Lee, a former police chief, has repeatedly denied that media freedoms have faded, while arguing both the local and foreign press to tell a good story about the city. In May, Reporters Without Borders, called RSF, ranked Hong Kong at 135 out of 180 places in its annual press freedom ranking. Its 2023 ranking was the big drop from 73 in 2019 and 18 in 2002. China ranked 179 according to the press writer graduation. This story has been updated with additional information.